What if I told you that I believe I am a bobcat?
Good for you, man.
But would you accept that? Would it be wrong of you to not accept it?
Yes. Are you arguing that there's not more than like man and woman? Are you arguing there's not a difference between sex and gender, or?
Yeah, I think there are two genders, male and female.
Okay, so you're saying that male and female is a gender, not a sex.
Yes.
Okay, so.
Both.
Okay, and see that's where I would have to disagree.
Okay.
You're
How so?
saying that male and female is something that would be by birth. For example, you probably have a penis, a male sex organ, as would I. But
why would you assume that?
do you?
But you assumed it, though.
Okay, I did. I apologize.
No, you don't, listen. You don't need.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do any gotcha.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me that you assumed that I have a penis.
Right.
Why?
Because you seem. I don't know, man.
Is it because of a societal construct?
Yes.
That's why?
Yes.
It wasn't because of my bone structure or my penis bulge. So you're saying that sex and gender are very different?
Yes.
Okay, I understand. So that's your premise. So that's based on kind of modern gender theory. When did that start?
I wouldn't know.
Okay. So why, let me ask you this before we get to the history. Why do you accept that premise?
Because it makes the most sense to me. The argument that we've created roles such as being feminine, and we have associated it with being female, as opposed to being female is being feminine.
Sure. You understand that there are inconsistencies there. For example, with your presumption of my penis. Let me ask you this then: how many genders are there?
I would say we would say that there are two genders, being man and woman,
Okay.
and then that there would be people that don't accept either of those, and that would be in a X or non-identifying category.
But what's the number? How many genders are there?
I couldn't tell you.
Isn't that important? The point is that before 1948 with Simone de Beauvoir and then Judith Butler with modern sort of postmodernism feminism theory, gender and sex were effectively interchangeable. You can even look on legal documentation depending on the permit. They are legally interchangeable. I mean, this is the way it's been with societies for millennia. We've had male and female. So when you radically change that, you do have to have a number, in my opinion, and some kind of an end game. It can't just be, well, we're going to shift the rules based on how people feel. So I can understand if someone says, hey, you're wrong, that there's a difference between sex and gender, but the burden of proof at that point would be on the person asserting that they're different to tell me how many genders there are. Because we as a society, right, have to know this. We have to function within certain parameters.
And I would say that those parameters for gender would be whatever that person wants those parameters to be. If they identify as a man or a woman, or they don't identify, that would be their prerogative, and that it's not my place or your place to tell them that they have to identify with being a man even if they are male, or they have to identify as a woman even if they are female.
But we do that all the time. People want to be things that they aren't, and we say that's not the case. Why is it a problem to do it if someone we know biologically is a male or a female? And that can never be changed.
Yeah,
it can never be changed biologically. But someone chooses to say that they're not. That's a very modern idea.
Yeah.
And the question is, why do we now have to subscribe to that? And then it gets into the idea of compulsion of compelling language, gender pronouns, what's allowed, what's hate speech, right? It's a fundamental retransformation of society based on, from what I'm hearing from you, unless I'm mistaken, abstracts. I haven't heard a number. I haven't heard what defines male or female.
Yes.
Only how people feel. And to me, that's not very convincing or conducive toward a productive society.
But if you had told me that you in fact don't identify as being a man, that you identify as being a woman, I would believe that would be wrong of me to try and subscribe you to being a man when you say you identify as a woman.
What if I told you that I believe I am a bobcat?
Good for you, man.
But would you accept that? Would it be wrong of you to not accept it?
Yes.
Really? Okay, well listen, I appreciate your intellectual consistency. Why would it be wrong of you to not accept my identification as a bobcat?
Because if you identify as a bobcat, man, go for it. Great for you. I hope you're the best bobcat on the earth, man.
Well, I appreciate it. Listen, I think you're a nice guy. I hope this has been productive, and I believe this has been civil.
Yeah.
But you do see, obviously, this is a very emotive argument that you're making, right? You're making an argument from a very emotional place, and I think it's because you're compassionate. It's because you're a good person. But and I appreciate your intellectual consistency, but the ramifications of saying that we have to acknowledge somebody legally who identifies as a bobcat, you understand, would be insurmountable.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.